So today we are going to be making some roasted turnips and roasted carrots, a little roasted fall root vegetable medley. The most daunting thing that people run into oftentimes with vegetables that are shaped weird like this is how do I cut it, how do I prepare it. I can show you how I would approach something like this. Generally, what I like to do if there's a kind of like an odd-shaped vegetable such as this, I'll end up kind of trying to make it as flat as possible when I cut it, and that way it'll give me a solid base for cutting it into smaller chunks. So basically, we're going to take this and also the carrots and cut them into smaller chunks, and then we'll add some oil and some spices, some herbs, and roast it up. So first, I would start by cutting off the root end right here. Some of this is definitely edible. I usually save this kind of stuff and make soup stock out of it. So you see I cut off the bottom right there, gives it a nice solid base if I want to stick it on the board like this. Or I'll also cut off the top and do the same. So from here, I'll put it on the larger side, and then cut it in half. And again, with a vegetable like this is a pretty big turnip. Basically, you're just trying to cut this down into more manageable sizes. So from here, we're basically just making cubes. So we'll go like this, and just cut into smaller pieces. And something like this is a good bite size. This is a nice manageable chunk to put in your mouth. So next we'll cut our carrots. Cutting carrots is a little bit more straightforward because you have this nice kind of slender shape. For this we're just going to do something really simple. Again, trying to get chunks that are equivalent to our turnip. So what I'll do is similarly cut off the end piece, which is just shaped a little bit funny. Again, add it to our stock bowl. Cut off the top. Again, we can add this to our vegetable stock. And then basically we're just going in and cutting little chunks like that. So our next step, now that we've chopped our vegetables, our turnip and carrots, is we're going to mix everything together. So I've got a larger bowl here. I'm just going to pour these in. Next, we're going to add a little bit of oil to coat the root vegetables. This basically will, one, help prevent them from burning on the pan when we roast them, and two, make them even more delicious. And three, it will actually help the herbs that we're going to add to stick to the vegetables. And from here, we're going to add our spices. So we've got a little bit of marjoram, which is one of my favorite spices. We grew this year for the first time, which is very exciting. So I'll add a little bit of marjoram. And then we've also got some sage here as well. So we'll just use a little bit of sage, see some dried sage. A little bit more. Kind of see it looks something like that. We'll add a little bit of salt to taste. Again, all these things can be to taste. Just a little bit of salt. And then we'll just mix everything together. So now that we have all of our ingredients mixed, our turnips and carrots, our spices and oil and salt, the last step is we're going to put them on a baking sheet, baking pan. So basically we can just spread them out on our pan here. We want them to be in a single layer. We don't want them all heaped up like this. So as best as possible to ensure that they all cook evenly, you want to kind of spread them out. Looks like we'll have just enough room here. So we spread them out like such. And then the last step is we'll put them in our oven. So these are going to go in at about 450 degrees for about half an hour. And you should be able to tell when the skins can be pierced and it smells and looks appetizing.